My name is Nelson-Moody, and my Squamish name is Tawx'sin Yexwulla. I'm from Tawx'sin in the Squamish Nation. I'm bringing in some smithing and repoussé, which has been done for thousands of years in Canada, thousands of years all over the world, and the techniques haven't really changed that much. Squamish people would use copper and make ceremonial objects, and occasionally you'll find remnants of old, more artistic pieces. So I'm basing it on classic Salish designs and a traditional medium, and I'm sort of bringing it back out into the public because a lot of people don't really think of Native people using metal, even though Native people have been using metal in Canada for almost as long as everywhere else. It's interesting to bring it out and have that conversation with people because people tend to think we're a Stone Age people, and they keep saying that over and over again. I go out into public and people say, shouldn't you be using stone tools? I still get that when I demonstrate work in public. So I'm kind of excited to bring this back out and excited to show some of the Salish techniques around it. I was bouncing around a bunch of ideas, and when I really think about innovation, Squamish people had a culture of innovation where when we had something new come into our community, we would really look at a new technology and study it for a couple of years and really see how it affected our society before we all reached for it. So we were really disciplined in how we integrated new technologies. That being said, I was thinking about a story my grandfather told me of a very, very bad winter. The snow was really deep, and it was lasting very, very long. And he had a big family. They had, at one point, they had 13 children, and they lived in a very small home in Upper Squamish. And the snow was so deep they couldn't get out. I mean, he could have gotten out, but not the family. And at the end of winter, he only had one bullet left. And he hiked up into the hills, into a spot that he knew of. He didn't go there much, but he knew of a spot that was often clear by the wind. And his father told him that there would be deer there, even in the worst weather. So he hiked all day to get to this place. A bunch of deer were there, and he sat there with his rifle with a hammer pulled back and waited for the rest of the day. Fell asleep with his gun, woke up the next day, waited most of the day with his gun sighting on a deer. And when two deer crossed their necks to feed at the same time, he shot through both of them. So with one bullet, he was able to get two deer. That's what he'd been waiting for. And he cleaned them and took them home. And he said by the time they'd finished those deer, they barely made it through the snowfall to thaw. And if he hadn't gotten two deer, he said it was, he said it was likely, some of them would have starved. So when he was thinking about, it seems like a crazy idea to get two deer with one bullet, but he was such a creative man. When it came time to innovate, that was his process. That was his ability to see, something I never would have even considered as possible, let alone pulling it off. So I was thinking about innovation. I was thinking about him and all of the ways he innovated in his life. And he told me lots of stories that I didn't really quite get at the time, but now looking back on it, I realized why he emphasized it so much, because we have to be creative in today's world. We're living in a whole new society. We've got all new pressures on our people. A lot of our resources have disappeared, and we're having to find a new way of sustaining our community and our culture.